Rob and Slim Show.
Hey, this is Ryan Leone. What's up?
What's going on, Ryan?
Hey.
What's happening, dude? You're in Santa Barbara.
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Oh.
How's the weather out there, man?
Oh, it's good. It's sunny. You know, where are you guys located?
Jersey.
You want some 10 inches?
Yeah. We're getting like 11 inches tonight.
It's cold like every day. It's just miserable. Oh, I see. We had like a slushy rain the other day. It's just sick of it.
Yeah, I used to live in Boston. I know all about that weather.
Wow. Now, you're a book author?
Yeah. I wrote a novel called Wasting Talent. It came out last year.
Nice. What's the book about?
The book is about a musician that is addicted to heroin, and it's kind of told episodically about his various adventures that he has dependent to drugs.
Okay. Now, is that anything from your real life?
Oh, yeah. I was a heroin addict for 10 years.
Wow.
And I've been clean 3 now, but, it's pretty much a Roman a Clef novel, and what Roman a Clef means is that it's loosely based off my life, except certain elements of it were fictionalized.
Wow. You said how long? 10 years?
Yeah, I shot heroin for 10 years.
What age did you start?
I started doing it when I was 17.
Damn.
And how'd you do? Like, who introduced you to that? Like, friends or?
Yeah, I was in the drug culture in high school, and one thing led to another. First it was cocaine, and then just heroin got introduced, and didn't really think much of it. It was just another drug, but definitely got its claws on me.
Yeah, I had a cousin who was heavily into that, and then he never, I guess, fully got off it because he always did the methadone.
Yeah, methadone is a beast in itself. I was on that for 3 years.
Wow.
And, that's a lot harder to come off of than the heroin itself. Like, you go through post-acute withdrawal for a good 6 months.
Wow.
What ultimately ended up getting me clean was I got busted selling heroin with a cartel that was based out of Mexico, and I ended up going to federal prison for 4 years.
Wow.
And that finally set me straight. But I got to write my book during the time that I was in prison, so I actually wrote it while I was incarcerated.
That's cool. Is that what cleaned you up, being in prison?
The first couple years that I was in there, I was doing heroin in prison.
Oh,
wow!
There's a lot of drugs in prison, and I was still coming off some drug money, so I was very much doing it in there, and I ended up getting clean. I got caught in prison doing it. I got a dirty drug test.
Okay.
And they put me in solitary confinement for a couple months. And that was, I reached my threshold. That was my rock bottom, and it was a pretty cathartic experience for me.
Did you ever go down? You said with the cartel, was that South America?
The cartel was based out of Mexico. It was an Indian tribe that was smuggling it from Mexico to San Diego, and then from San Diego up to Los Angeles, and made its way up to Santa Barbara, where I was. It was with 109 other people.
Damn.
It was like a big network, but it was pretty sensationalized by the federal government. I only knew one person who was my drug dealer.
Yeah.
So I wasn't involved with the cartel, but that's the way that
they
the
spun
feds
it.
kind of wrote it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if you ever went down there and had to meet the dude in charge or anything.
There wasn't a giant adobe house with 16 armed guards and 12 bitches cutting heroin on a table naked. It was there.
No, that's what you think by the feds, but they were on some bullshit. They're just trying to make their cases as inclusive as possible, and they make these huge, elaborate conspiracy cases out of nothing. And I fell victim to that.
How did they catch you? Just
my dealer got caught first.
Okay.
This fat lady from East LA. And the way that it works in the feds is, I mean, like on a state level, if you get caught for something, they try to get you to cooperate and give up your dealer.
Of course.
Yeah.
The feds, they do it the complete opposite. They bust the dealers, and then they want to know where they were giving the drugs to.
Wow.
And so she got busted. She actually got busted trying to smuggle it into a state prison for her boyfriend. And she got caught, and I guess the FBI got involved. And she said, yeah, you know, I'm dealing with this guy that lives in Santa Barbara. And, you know, I was only selling about £1 a week. But I was making good money. I was making about $10,000 a week.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, she said, I got this kid. I was only 23 at the time. And, you know, he's making a lot of money. And I guess the feds were interested. And I got wrapped up in it. They said I was part of this big cartel. It was all over the papers. And they really blew it out of proportion, I think.
How old are you now?
I'm 29 now.
Wow, young dude.
Yeah, so, you know, I did 4 years. I got out when I was 27. I got out clean.
Yeah.
And I got my book published about a year after that.
That's awesome.
And it's been doing, you know, it's been doing well.
Nice, dude.
And, yeah, so I'm 29. I just got engaged to someone about 6 months ago.
Cool.
That's excellent.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
Congratulations.
Really awesome, thank
man.
you.
Because like I said, some people never get their shit together. My cousin, he was, I think, 60, and he's still on the methadone, and he passed away last winter, man.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. You know, I've lost a lot of people to it. So it's just such a destructive disease.
Yeah.
Heroin addiction.
Do you still have to fight, like, urges and stuff?
No, you know, I don't. The one thing I did when I got home is I started hanging out with different people who were sober. So I'm not around it ever. And my fiancé sober. She was a pretty bad alcoholic, and she was also a drug addict. And so we kind of keep each other sober. But I don't have urges anymore. You know, we go to the gym 5 days a week. We eat healthy. Nice. We do a lot of things that are conducive to a positive lifestyle. So
yeah,
once you change the attitude.
Once you start living like that, it's, you know, the temptation gets lifted.
Yeah. How did you meet her?
I met her on Facebook, actually. Wow. She's a professional photographer, and during the time that I was shopping my book around to try to get it published, I wanted some headshots done.
Yeah.
And we knew some mutual friends, so, you know, I hit her up on Facebook. I was still on house arrest at the time. I was just fresh out of prison.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I fell in love with her, like, the first time I ever saw her. And we've been together ever since. It's, you know, 2 years now.
Awesome.
Wow. I had a question, like, what was it like being in solitary confinement? Because I've heard that's really awful. Like, I've heard some horror stories about that.
Solitary confinement is the most inhumane punishment that you can place on somebody. When I was in solitary confinement, they didn't give me a book. They didn't give me a pen. They didn't give me anything. So I was by myself in an 8x10 cell, and they let you out for 1 hour a day to go work out by yourself in a cage.
Wow.
So basically I'm just sitting there, and I'm just kind of engulfed in my own self-pity, and, you know, I did a lot of reflecting, but it was bad. It broke me down, you know?
Wow. Did you get any visitation at all?
While I was in solitary confinement?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Wow.
You're not allowed to see anyone while you're in there.
Wow.
And they cuff you while you shower. And the guards watch you, so you have to shower naked in front of a couple guards, and it's really it's just really disgusting that they treat people like that. And I'm a big opponent. I mean, especially for a nonviolent drug offender.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole policy is just a big fallacy, you know?
So now that you're like away from all that, do you feel like you have more confidence?
Well, I feel like I have more confidence because I've actually accomplished something. Like, I'm a published writer now. I work out, so I'm in good shape. I got a hot fiance. So, yeah, I'm confident compared to the emaciated junkie that I used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the contrast is night and day, you know?
Mm.
And that never, like, it never pops into your head, like, I was that person once, and you just get, like that bad taste in your mouth?
Well, I think that coming from that bad place for over a decade has been a very robust platform for me to grow on. I know the mistakes I've made in the past, and I definitely know where I want to go in the future.
Yeah, I think being clean
it's made me a better person.
Yeah, it would be just what to strive for. I wouldn't dwell on that on the past, you know. Just move forward.
And there's still stigmas, you know. I mean, I'm a multiple felon. I didn't go to college. Not everyone's receptive to somebody, even if it's a comeback story where they come out of prison and they're doing well. I mean, there's still a lot of people that definitely look down on me. I mean, thankfully, my fiance's family and my family are pretty progressive and they're pretty open-minded. So, they look at it as a triumph that I conquered adversity and, that I'm doing the right thing. But there's definitely people that hold prejudice against me just for my past.
Yeah, going back to what you said about the money you made in a week and not, graduating college or anything. My buddy Tino used to be in that situation, and he was like, "Yeah, I could quit selling drugs and work at like McDonald's, or I could make $10,000 a week." Like he's like, "I'm not gonna make that anywhere else."
It's just too alluring.
Yeah, and he ended up dying, but yeah.
You know what? The money has been, I'd say, the toughest adjustment for me because I used to have no concept of money at all. I mean, the amount of money that I was making was ridiculous, and I was living very lavishly. Yeah. And now I have to make sacrifices just to do stuff, to juggle the electricity bill, the rents. It's difficult now, because I didn't really learn the value of the dollar. Yeah.
Now, did you try looking for like a regular job, just something to pay the bills, or did you right after out of prison just start pushing your book?
Well, my dad owns a national healthcare company, and he gave me a marketing position right when I got out. It was the terms of my parole that I had to work. Yeah. And I was very fortunate that my family was able to hook me up with a job right when I got out, and I'm still doing that job. I do it from home 4 hours a day. And I mean, it pays the bills, but living in Los Angeles isn't cheap, so it's not like, it's not like I have a lot of money to do stuff. And I'm making some money off the book, but it's definitely hard to make it selling fiction.
Yeah.
So.
Has the book sold a lot?
Yeah, I've sold about 5,000 copies.
That's cool.
That's pretty nice.
Is that on where can you buy paperback or just like digital copies?
Yeah, you can buy paperback and digital. You can buy it from Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's at a lot of bookstores. I sell predominantly digital copies, though.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
that seems to be the way the market went, too.
Yeah. I'm just happy that, people are actually willing to pay to hear my story. I think that's awesome. It's very rewarding.
That is.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you. You said that the book is about a musician with the drug problem. So, were you a musician, or are you a musician?
No, I wasn't a musician, and the reason that I chose to employ that in my work was that while I was a drug addict, I was pretty delusional, and I thought that I was living a rock star lifestyle. So I thought it would be fun to make a character that could have been a rock star, but, threw his talent away for drugs.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Cool. I definitely might have to check out your book and give it a read, man. It sounds very interesting. It sounds like it definitely would be a good read.
Yeah, it's called Wasting Talent.
Cool. Now, before you got into like the whole drug thing, what were your aspirations? Like, what did you want to be?
I think I always wanted to go into film because I grew up in Southern California, and I've seen some of my peers become successful in that industry. I think from a young age, that's always something that I wanted to do, and it's something that I'm still pursuing.
Cool. Yeah, it kind of like reminds me of you ever see Basketball Diaries? Was that with
Jim
DiCaprio?
Carroll.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that kind of a story and all.
Yeah, I like the book and I like the movie. I think Leonardo DiCaprio really captured the junkie essence.
Yeah, that movie just made me never want to do anything like that. That movie was crazy.
Unfortunately, movies like that weren't dissuasive for me.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I saw the glamour in it, even though it was disgusting. And now looking back, like I watch movies like that now, and I'm totally disgusted and repulsed by the depiction of addiction.
I think the other one was like, what was it, Midsummer Night Dream or something? That was kind of like that too. And I just
Requiem for a Dream.
That's what it was. Yeah, dude. Movie just
that movie's raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie, and the guy that wrote that book, this guy Hubert Selby Jr., probably my greatest influence as a writer. I just think he is so visceral and real, and it shows in the movie. He wrote the screenplay for the movie too. It's powerful stuff.
Wow.
Are you planning on writing more books, and are they? And do you think you're going to focus on drug addiction in all your books, or do you have visions for something different?
Yeah, I don't want to focus on drug addiction on all my books. I don't want to be like typecast like that.
Yeah.
And I got an essay published in a magazine a couple months ago. It was actually on Hubert Selby Jr., the guy that wrote Requiem for a Dream.
Wow.
And I've kind of been trying to shop around short fiction and essays, and it's a slow grind. I don't really like it, so I've refocused on script writing because I've always written screenplays. Right. I wrote screenplays before I ever went to prison. Just none of them have ever materialized. And right now I'm working on a script about a professional skateboarder, kind of like Boogie Nights, but with the backdrop being skateboarding industry instead of porn.
Cool. That's awesome. What you said you had poems published in high school, right?
Yeah, I did.
Like, do you look back at your old work and do you still like enjoy it, or do you think it's because I look back at some old stuff that I've done and it's like that was garbage. I didn't know how you looked at or viewed your old work.
Well, it's actually interesting because last night I was reading some of my old writing. I just spent a couple hours doing that just last night.
Yeah.
And I see certain areas where I was doing good, and then there's certain areas where I know that I've progressed as a writer. As far as poetry and what I used to do in high school, it's a medium that I'm totally not into anymore. Okay. I write my fiancé poems for special occasions.
Yeah.
But, I just don't, it's not as rewarding. Once you, churn out a novel and you do something that's takes that much creative endurance.
Yeah.
Writing a poem is almost like a tease because it's just not as fulfilling, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think I like the stuff I used to write, but it was awfully cynical looking back on it now.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Yeah, sorry, we're having a rough night. Technical difficulties all night. I think that kind of put us in a little bit of a funk. But
yeah,
Comcast sucks.
Yeah.
My modem went out on me, so now we're using our friend Mike, who's here with us. We're using his cell phone to take this call with you. Well, we're using the internet from his cell phone because we're taking the call through Skype. So.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I watched some of your guys' previous shows last night on YouTube. You know, late night. So I saw your whole little setup there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you. We do appreciate that. Yeah, it was funny. I was thinking that when you were saying like how writing is like a grind, like what we're doing is like a grind too. Like I think it's rough, man.
It is.
Yeah. No, I full respect to you guys.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's hard too. Like just the growth when it's not that big. Like, but we've been doing all right.
You keep at it.
Doing at it for a year. Yeah, we've been definitely getting more and more recognition. No money, but
money will come.
Yeah.
Money will come.
I think right now the great thing is just the people we're talking to and like the friends we're making. Like, you know, I've never in my life have been able to talk to these like creative people that are out in LA or you know, who are, you know, comedians or actors or any of this. So I think that's something that has given me a lot of confidence in myself and has grown just by doing this.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, man.
But it's rough because, like we said, we're not getting paid for it, and we're working, you know, shitty regular jobs, full-time jobs, and doing this too. So it's rough. A lot of our time is like committed to this project and then work. It's hard to get like, you know, any real free time in it. But
hey, I'm dealing with the same thing. I work in the morning, I go to the gym in the afternoon, and then at night we usually watch stuff on Netflix. And to get writing accomplished is really hard. In prison, I had all day to do it, and I was very structured, and I had a routine. And it's difficult. But I find script writing, now that I'm writing screenplays again, it's a lot easier and less demanding than novels.
Yeah, you don't have to be as descriptive with scripts, right? You could just kind of write, like, in a room, you know, and that's it, and then write dialogue mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very skeletal, you know. It's basically a blueprint for a film. So if you have a command on dialogue, then you're good to go. It's very formulaic, so everything is structured and set. You know, plot point 1 goes here, plot point 2 goes here. There's 3 acts in a structure. There's sequences. Once you figure out all that stuff, it's really easy just to fill in the blanks and make stories. So I see myself being more prolific with script writing. The problem with it is that the odds are so stacked against you. I mean, everyone in LA is writing a screenplay.
Yeah.
If you go to a Starbucks here, it's funny, like we trip out because we go to coffee shops all the time, and every person on a laptop is working on a screenplay.
Of course, though.
Yeah.
It's like every friggin' waiter and waitress is trying to break into acting there too.
Everyone, yeah. And, you know, LA is really materialistic, and there's a lot of name dropping. Every time we're with people, they're like, "Oh, I was with so and so," and
very fucking vain. Huh?
Drop our names. Yeah. Rob and Slim Show.
Yeah, be like, I was on the Rob and Slim Show the other night.
What you got,
I'll be dropping your names. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you one more thing. I had it and then it slipped away. Do you have like a favorite director or anybody who you're trying to, you know, whose style you really like and you kind of incorporate that style into your writing at all?
Oh, I have so many. And I'm not going to say any names negatively, but it's really funny because I've been reading a lot of screenplays on the internet lately just to see what other people that I respect were doing. And a lot of the screenplays that are out there are shitty. You know, like, it's seems like after they get made into a film, there's a lot of improv that goes on through actors.
Yeah, I wondered that.
It kind of beefs up the dialogue and makes it more fluid. But I've been reading a lot of screenplays where I'm like, wow, this is not that good. But the film's amazing.
Yeah.
You know? I like Quentin Tarantino a lot as a writer. His screenplays, when you read them, they jump to life, and they're just as good as the films. But I can't say that about everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
I like a lot of his stuff too.
Yeah, I love Quentin Tarantino. I don't think there's really anything.
And he pretty much he's a seminal guy. He just changed the whole world.
Yeah.
In the mid '90s when he came out, and everyone's trying to be like him. There's been a lot of sorry imitations. So it's I try to be influenced by him, but not be too derivative either.
Let him go then. Hey Ryan, it was great talking to you. We actually got to let you go because we got another interview that's calling right now. So get your plugs out real quick, and then we'll let you go, man.
What's that? Get what out?
Your plugs.
Whatever, your book and stuff like that, whatever you want to promote.
Wasting Talent. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. You can buy it at wastingtalent.com. I'm on Twitter, Ryan Leone. And, I'll reply to anyone that wants to talk to me. So
Cool. All right. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. We had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on your show. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Take care.
You too, man.
Bye.
Goodbye.